Welcome everyone to my talk. Today I'll be discussing the research paper D21, a deep learning method for 21 centimeter foreground removal, which is by the authors listed here. So let's begin. So let's briefly discuss the cosmic neutral hydrogen emission, that is this 21 centimeter hydrogen data we are talking about. It is due to the spin flip transition in the neutral hydrogen atom which causes this emission in the radio region. It is really important in astronomy and cosmology. With the help of this data, we can know about the evolution of the universe, large structure formation, and physics of reionization. Not much work has been done in knowing the epoch of reionization via 21 centimeter data, but this is the next target, and also about the large structure growth at redshift less than or equal to 4. But there are certain challenges while dealing with 21 centimeter hydrogen data. These are the foreground contamination of the signal by various sources. These could be extragalactic sources or the galactic ones. In the extragalactic sources, it could be due to synchrotron emission or via free Bremsstrahlung emission. And these sources are these sources of contamination cause the signal to be 3 to 4 times brighter, and their feature is that they vary smoothly with frequency. This feature will be very useful for their removal, and because we don't know much about the origins of these foreground contaminations, this lead to use of principal component analysis. But the problem with that is the result we get, the summary statistics, mean, etc., that we got from the PCA analysis, they are very distorted and do not represent the original data. So the authors had proposed a new method called D21. Deep because it is a deep learning algo, and 21 because it is dealing with 21 centimeter line data. What it does, it uses the data which is pre-processed with the principal component analysis and then further processes it to produce clean 21 centimeter maps, and it is a convolutional neural network which uses the UNet architecture. We will discuss about them later. They simulated the cosmological signal in 3 steps. First, they simulated the original cosmological signal given by whose brightness temperature was given by this equation, and all the parameters, density parameters, omegas, are according to the WMAP survey, which points to a flat cosmology. And for the foreground simulations, they use different methods for different contaminants. For the galactic sources, they used the results from a previous research work and extrapolated their foregrounds, and for the extragalactic ones, they used a Gaussian probability model of a power spectrum, which is given by equation here. These foregrounds are polarized also because when synchrotron emission giving electrons travel through galaxy's magnetic field, their polarization angle changes due to Faraday rotation. But these effect is not clearly understood, but the researchers have also included this polarization into the simulation. Then the third component was the noise in the data. They used Gaussian noise for single dish, which is centered at 0, and these are the parameters that we used for noise, and this accumulated all these components and run the simulation using this CRIME simulation. So after simulating the signal, the next step was to remove the foreground contaminants from the signal, and the first technique they used was the blind foreground subtraction, because they didn't consider the original nature of the contaminants. That's why it is called blind subtraction, foreground subtraction. These mainly depend upon the statistical distinction between the original signal and the contaminants. So they write down the problem as a linear system where x is the total brightness temperature of signal, foreground and noise, that is what we are getting from the signal. And the first term on this RH A dot S, this relate to the sky foreground, and C naught is the signal plus noise data. So we need to, here we want to reconstruct C naught, that is x minus A dot S. This is our main aim. Then they performed a principal component analysis reduction. Now, what is principal component analysis? It is basically orthogonal transformation which takes the data from a highly correlated space to uncorrelated space. And since the contaminants are highly correlated, and if we remove the principal component from them, we get a data which is very similar to the original cosmological signal. And here is given, on the left side is the input data, and on the left side is the output data after PCA, which we will further use for Deep 21 analysis. Here is the UNet architecture, the three-dimensional UNet architecture which is used in Deep 21. So basically it looks like a U, that's why it is called UNet. And we feed our PCA processed data into the UNet architecture, and the black prism here represents a three-dimensional convolution that occurs on data, and then it is downsampled 6 times, and then expansion or coding of the data takes place, which is given on the right hand side, and at each steps concatenation of the data also takes place, and then we get a output. The loss function used in Deep 21, which is actually used in the gradient descent in the convolutional neural networks, is not the standard mean square error function, which is the targeted value minus predicted value whole square, but actually it is the logarithmic of hyperbolic cosine of the difference between predicted value and the target value. The reason behind this is the standard error function became really volatile after running the architecture for some time, so they used the logarithmic one. Now let's come to training the architecture. They used AdamW optimizer and a stepwise learning rate reduction to optimize the learning rate and the parameters. They ran total 80 simulation of the total signal plus noise plus foreground, and then they did the PCA free subtraction to reduce the principal component, that is the highest eigenvector, and then they pixelized the data because UNet run only on pictures, so they pixelized it and then they ran the UNet, and the parameter was tuned on different noises also. So now let's discuss the results of the Deep 21 architecture. Here they are given 3 signals: the original cosmological signal without the foreground, and then given is the signal after a reduction of PCA, the contaminant signal from which PCA reduction was done, and then is the reconstructed signal using Deep 21. So we can see that the Deep 21 signal is very much similar to the original signal without the foregrounds, and whereas after the PCA reduction from the contaminated signal, not a very good result is found. This is the comparison of the relative residual error for the brightness temperature. It is given by predicted value minus the targeted value divided by the targeted value. So here we can see that the Deep 21 method was able to get a better distinction of the features of the original cosmological signal, where the PCA reduction failed to get these feature corrects around the high density regions. Here is given the comparison of the residual power spectra over the original cosmological power spectra. Here the black solid line is of the Deep 21, purple line is of the PCA analyzed data, and the dashed black line shows the noise in the signal, and we can see even that higher value of noise, the DEEP 21 is better than PCA. Here is a comparison is made on the basis of how much better cleaning system retains the original asymmetric temperature distribution of the cosmological signal. The purple one shows the PCA and green one shows the DEEP 21, and the black solid line shows the original cosmological signal, and we can see that only DEEP 21 is able to retain the asymmetry of the temperature distribution, whereas the PCA gives a really symmetric distribution with centered at 0. We have already discussed that PCA is not able to retain the mean of the original signal. So we can say that DEEP 21 is better than PCA here. Here a comparison is made on the basis of how well the cleaning system recovers the original power spectrum, and a parameter is introduced which gives the difference between the predicted by the system power spectrum to the original power spectrum and gives its relative weightage. So if the method is able to recover the power spectrum in a very nice way, it should be very close to 0. And here we can see that at higher values of L, DEEP 21, which is given in the red black solid line, is better than the PCA. But at intermediate levels, we can say that PCA is much closer to 0, whereas DEEP 21 is far away from 0. So here PCA outperforms DEEP 21. But overall, we can see that DEEP 21 is better than PCA in over the full spectrum if we see. Here a comparison is made on the basis of the performance of these two cleaning system PCA and DEEP 21 at different values of noise, and we can see that at lower values of noise PCA is not better than DEEP 21. In fact, DEEP 21 is performing much better than PCA, but after the alpha max given here, the performance of these two become very similar and not much satisfactory. The reason behind this is that the DEEP 21 is basically trained for the value lesser than alpha max or near that, and after that its performance becomes not so unsatisfactory. Overall, the performance of DEEP 21 is much better than the blind foreground subtraction method, but a few points needed to be considered before putting it in real practice or in the upcoming projects like a square kilometer array. First, we need a more realistic model of noise and train our architecture according to that, because it failed at certain high values of noises. Also, we need to know more about the foreground polarization of the extragalactic signals, and we need to train our architecture according to that. Also, our architecture should be able to run at different astrophysical parameters. Here we only considered the flat cosmology, but it should also be able to run at different astrophysical parameters. So these are the points that needed to be considered. So thanks, this is all from my side, and all the data, all the plots, everything was taken from the paper which I discussed itself. Thank you very much.